Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Want to bring you all a little update on Digibyte. Right now we're down 8.66%. We're at 0.01165. And guys, we actually broke down through a key area. As you've seen here, we're looking at this yellow trend line, and this is what I was saying I did not want to break down out of. And you see as we broke down out of it, you have this big sell-off, and that's what we were looking for there, and that's the significance, of these trend line breaks. So what we'll be looking for now is to see if we have some type of a pullback. A lot of times when you have a fall like this, we're landing right on this 100-day moving average, which is also coinciding with this 0.618. So what we'll see is if we have some type of a pullback to test this trend line that we broke through. So sometimes about 50% of the time or more, you'll have a pullback right here, guys. You'll fall down, then you'll have that pullback into this line right here, this trend line. So they'll back test it to see if we can get back up above it. But right now, this is a significant sell-off for Digibyte. And also, guys, if you're long-term accumulating and you really believe in the project, this isn't a terrible thing right now. It's cheaper Digibyte, and you're able to get it, at a 9% discount here. And we're also going to see if we do get that bounce at this 0.618. A lot of times we do get a bounce off there, and there's also that 100-day moving average, which you can see we're kind of wicking on right now. We're going to have to see if we drop any farther at all. The next stop, I'd look at that 0.786, and that would be right down in this range here, guys. But first, we're going to have to see if we do get a bounce off this. So we're going to dig into all this, guys. If you like Digibyte, if you like the project, if you like the long-term health of Digibyte, give me a thumbs up, a comment down low. Let me know what you like best about Digibyte and also what you're seeing in the charts here. If you think we're going to have a pullback and test this trend line, or if you feel like we're just going to fall down to the 0.786. Guys, because in my book, I go over trend lines, and this is Encyclopedia Chart Patterns. A few people have asked what book I'm talking about. Encyclopedia Chart Patterns by Thomas Bulkowski. It's one of the best ones, but he talks about these trend line breaks and throwbacks and pullbacks onto them once you do break down. The three scenarios, basically, you can break down and just continue to fall. You can break down, come up, test this right here, and then fall down even farther, or you could come down where we're at and then come back up and actually get back inside this trend line. So those are the things that I'm looking at right now. But what we're going to dig into next are some key things in terms of the indicators and what we're seeing on the indicators, and I got a couple of them for you here. So first we're going to go to the RSI, and this is our relative strength index. We want to see how strong we're looking right now and what's happening. So guys, you can see we're just opening up here. We're having lower highs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a trend line on this. And this is what I like to do. So we'll know once this trend lines break, we'll be moving to the upside pretty strong. And then I'm also going to draw a horizontal line of support here to see where we would find some support. We had a double bottom there. So do you see this, guys? We hit off here, we came here, and then we made that move up. And we're approaching that area around 32 on the RSI. So what I'm hoping is we get a nice bounce off that, and we can hopefully try to come up here and test this upper trend line at some point. Now it's going to take a while due to this fall that we've had, but that's what I'm going to be looking at here, guys. But we're definitely in lower highs and lower low territory now. So like I said, if you're looking for a long-term accumulation, this is a good thing, guys. We want to see, some good buying opportunities, and hopefully today would be a good buying opportunity. Down about 9%. We're looking at the 0.618 to potentially have a bounce at least up to that 0.382, which would coincide with this trend line, and that would also be a nice pullback. So, just because we fell like this, I'm not getting upset or worried or anything like that. I really think Digibyte is a strong project. I believe it's going to do well in this next bull market, and we may be entering these very early stages of the bull market, so that's something exciting. The next one I want to go to is the MACD, and these are the indicators that I like to use. These are the ones that I trust. I know a lot of people look at these, a lot of traders, so you want to look at what a lot of other traders are looking at as well. Alright guys, on the MACD, same thing. Do you see these lower highs here? And what I even do, I draw trend lines on the moving averages so I can see when they break. So I'd put a trend line just like that. We'll make it yellow so you can see. And you see this, guys? So when I would want to buy is when we get a nice aggressive break out of there on the MACD. And right now, guys, the histogram's still in the negative. We tried to get a little cross here. We failed. We got pushed to the downside. So right now, the MACD is still in negative territory. So the RSI's in bearish territory. The MACD's in bearish territory. And next one, what we're going to look at is the Bollinger Bands. So we're going to see if we're actually getting a little overextended to the downside here, and see if this is maybe even that good opportunity to buy like we were talking about. So yeah, guys, we are low here. we've actually snuck through this lower band. And when you sneak through that lower band, a lot of people will buy down in this area, and then we'll wait to see if we come back up and test this middle band. It's hard to see, but it's in red here, and that middle band is going to be around that 0.0135. So it's a little ways away there, but I'm keeping my eye on that to see if we do get a bounce off this 100-day moving average, off that 0.618, and off the bottom of this Bollinger Band. So that's what I'm saying. Whenever you fall too far in one direction or gain too much in one direction, you're always going to have some type of correction or retracement. So that's what I mean. Don't FOMO, guys, or don't chase anything. Just be patient. Really sit back and wait for your opportunity when you feel comfortable. If right now at 0.0116 you feel comfortable buying Digibyte, you believe in the project, this is a wonderful time to get some. We're definitely near the bottom here, guys. If you go out to the 1 week, take a look at this. Look how long we've just been in this bear market, and look where you would be buying. So tell me how you could be upset buying in this area if you're holding for the long term. If you're a long-term investor and you say, hey, I want Digibyte so I can ride one of these next ones up here, and you see these market cycles, here's a market cycle, and I'm sure we're going to have another one at some point here, and look where you would be buying. Yes, if you're looking at trading, then things are different, but if you're looking for a long-term hold, this is not a terrible spot at all to be picking up some Digibyte, guys. We are as high as, let's see, 13 or 14 cents at one point. We're down around 1 here. So look at that, 13, 14x we lost in value there. So, keep that in the back of your mind. And what I wanted to look at here was a few indicators on the weekly. So our RSI on the 1 week chart, let's see. So guys, here's the trend line I would be looking at as well on the 1 week chart. I can just kind of spot it with my eye here. We'll see. Yep. This is the one I would look at. You can see we came pretty close, but it almost looks like we had a little rejection. But when we break through that, and if it's on some volume, that means we're really going to try to run hard. So, keep that in your mind. We're at 43 right now, so we're between that bearish and neutral territory on the RSI. So we want to see some more things happen there. Let's go to our MACD next. This is why we don't chase coins, guys. You just got to be patient and let the market come to you. There's always going to be corrections. I promise you, there's always going to be corrections. So with the 1 week chart here now, it looks like the histogram starting to get a little more neutral and starting to tick to the downside. And you can also see we had that bullish cross here, but now we're starting to get that little hook right here. But we have not crossed back over to the bearish side. So right now this is still bullish. The MACD is like, I'd say, neutral to bullish in this category. So we are kind of throwing some mixed signals here. And that's what you'll have with these indicators. Sometimes, you'll have a few that are bullish, some that are bearish, and that's what you have to decipher and kind of sit down and make a plan. And that's why I'm going through all these with you right now. Okay, so the next one I wanted to look at here, guys, was the stock RSI. See where we're looking? Okay, so we're more at the top here, guys, and that's starting to show where we had that cross. And take a look at this. If you're looking at moving averages, I want to teach you something here. This is something that I really study a lot of as well. So this big break, look how they happen together. Do you see this break right? This is where we had that bearish cross. And you can see right here we pushed up one more time, and then we just started falling down through. And that's what's happening right now. So with this MACD, this is basically more of a lagging indicator. So that's something that's going to be a little bit later to the party. But if you play it, crosses down low, down in this area and up here. So if you're getting a cross like that with some wick rejection, that's a good sign, or a bearish candle, that's a good sign right there that we could be heading down to the downside, and vice versa. You can also have that happen down here to where we get this cross and we had a nice bullish engulfing candle here on the 1 week chart. So, guys, next thing I want to do, I want to step out and we're going to look at some key overhead resistances on the 1 week. So on the 1 week, we are now below this 20 EMA, which we finally got back up above, guys, and that's going to indicate the uptrend for us is this 20 EMA. First, I'd look on the 1 day chart, but this 1 week's going to be very significant as well, because you can see we tried to wick up through it, and then we got pushed back down. So, that's something you do want to keep in the back of your mind, and we're also slightly below this 200-day moving average, guys, and we have a death cross taking place here of this 50 over top of the 100. So, Digibyte could get pushed down a little bit more, but I showed you the areas that I would be looking at. But you can't really deny these type of things like this bearish cross that we're having here. That's probably what's helping push us to the downside now, and also being under this 20 EMA, which we've been under for quite a while. We haven't been up it, so here we're up over. We stayed up above it for a little while here, and then we closed back below, and we've been below it since August 2018. You can see here we wicked up to it a few times, just kept getting pushed back down, finally got up above it, had a couple closes up above it, and now we're starting to lose it again. So, just be patient in this area. Really let the market come to you. And if you're looking for a long-term hold, this is not a terrible spot to be looking at, guys. But in terms of trading, I don't know if I would necessarily be going long right now unless you're looking at that 0.618 to see if you get a bounce, which is fine, but it needs to be accompanied by some volume, and some of those candles need to look a little better than what we're seeing right now. So if we go back to that 1 day, just to show you. Sorry, guys, my chart's running a little bit slower here. I don't know what's going on. Well, guys, I think that's all it's going to give me right now. I apologize. TradingView's been messing with me today and the last couple days, so we'll just cut it there. But these are my thoughts. This is what I'm looking at. If you like Digibyte, you like what we do here, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless.